Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in today's video I'm doing my predictions for TNA Bound For Glory 2025. So starting off with the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, where the Inspiration will be defending the titles against the Elegance brand, which is Em and Heather by Elegance. And for me, very, very simple. I can't see the Inspiration losing the titles so soon after winning them. So for me, it's going to be the Elegance brand losing here, the Inspiration going on to continue their reign. At the minute, there's only really two female tag teams in these two teams here. I can see maybe Angel Wins getting an opportunity, but the fact that Lei Ying Lee was in the Knockouts World title match only at Victory Road makes me feel like they might have her go up to the main event team for a little bit before going back down to the tag division. So yeah, for now it feels like we're going to continue this endless feud of the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand. But no, I've got the Inspiration to 100% retain their titles here. So following that, we have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, and for this one I had a few people in mind, and then I remembered they were in other matches. So first of all, my first pick, if he was able to be in it, is Mustafa Ali. I feel like he would be great with this kind of power over the roster, and yeah, it just feels like he is a future world champion, so I feel like this would be a good way to get him to that point. Another person is Steve Macklin. I feel like he had a great international title run that was really putting back into that, or at least this should be a good way to put him back into the main event scene. But he's in the international title match. He's having a rematch against Frankie Kazarian, so I can't see it being him either. So I'm going to throw a few names out there. Some are kind of less, and it's more of a personal preference than it is a prediction. First of all, Dani Luna. I would love to see Dani Luna get the win here and kind of be able to go after the Knockouts Championship, but I feel like she is a future Knockouts champion if they keep her around. I would love to see her as Knockouts champion. I'm not sure about injury-wise how this is going to work out, but Kaylin King, she's been injured for like what feels like ages. I would love to see her return here if she's fit and healthy and maybe even win this match. But as far as predictions go, I have three names in mind. Number one, Matt Cardona. I feel like he will make a very good world champion, and I mean, assuming he goes for the world championship. But also, it's like a case of, you know, I feel like he could hold this and turn heel or face, and it'll work either way. And yeah, I think it'd be cool to see him as TNA World Champion on WWE television, considering that they never pulled the trigger on him, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just feel like he's just a natural pick for someone in this match. AJ Francis, I feel like would be a really good heel to have this, and he can use this on any championship, whether it be the Tag Team Championships or the X Division or the World title. And yeah, he would make a really good champion, and I'm very annoyed that the Hardys are taking the World Tag titles into the Dudleys match when I'd much rather see First Class as World Tag Team Champions. And my third pick, and maybe a controversial pick, but a bit of personal preference, is Tessa Blanchard. Now, I feel like this doesn't only harm or bring potential harm to the Knockouts division, but also the World title division. She might decide that she wants her World title back, and she can go after the men. I know that maybe WWE might have some issues with the intergender stuff. It makes me a bit curious about how they're going to do the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, but I know Lei Ying Lee is the first one in, so clearly they are doing intergender stuff, which is perfectly fine with me. I love intergender wrestling as much as people hate it. But yeah, I feel like Tessa Blanchard will be a great heel. I know she's got a match with Gia Miller, but I feel like that match isn't, I don't know how to put it, like, it's just not that important where they can both probably come out later on and do the Call Your Shot Gauntlet or do it beforehand, depending on how the card plays out. So yeah, I feel like if I have to narrow it down to one, my money is on Matt Cardona. I feel like he'll make a great person to have as the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, but to give a bit of variety, my picks are Matt Cardona, Tessa Blanchard, or AJ Francis. So, as we just talked about it, Tessa Blanchard is taking on Gia Miller in a feud that seems to be going on for a while, even though like Gia Miller's only just come back, and it seems to be the first time we see Gia Miller in a TNA ring. Obviously, I'm aware that Gia Miller does do independent shows. I can't remember which one she does mostly, but you know, I'm not that intertwined with the indie stuff, so do forgive me. But I know she has some kind of group. I know Alan Angels is in it, so I kind of have a good idea of what she's doing. But yeah, it's good to see. It's going to be good to see her wrestle, because I feel like she's good as a backstage interviewer, but I feel like she might be good in ring as well. As far as the match goes, they're just going to give the match to Tessa, surely. Like, they're just going to have Tessa beat the crap out of Gia Miller, and then maybe they have a rematch at one of the TNA Plus events where Gia can get her win back. But on a big event like this, I don't think they're going to have Tessa Blanchard take a loss, especially if I mean, again, it's just me guessing, but if she goes into Collie Shot Gauntlet, she's going to need a win. So yeah, I'm going to go with Tessa Blanchard to get a win, but I'm curious about this match to see how good Gia Miller is in the ring. And Tessa Blanchard hasn't been quite the female wrestler she was in 2019 when she was arguably one of the best in the world. So I'm hoping that a win here and then maybe some bigger wins coming up in the future may get her back into the Knockouts World Championship scene soon. After that, we have Steve Macklin facing Frankie Kazarian for the International Championship in a rematch from Victory Road. And for me, I would love to sit here and say that Steve Macklin's going to get the win here, but unfortunately, I don't think he is. I think Frankie Kazarian's going to retain. It's just a basic rematch. I feel like putting this out on Frankie Kazarian is something I'm curious about. I feel like he might make a good champion, but I don't know. I haven't really been enjoying the stuff he's been doing in his most recent TNA run, so I'm a bit hesitant with how I'm feeling about it. But yeah, I mean, I would much prefer the title on Steve Macklin, but it seems like they're just going to keep this out on Frankie Kazarian. I'm hoping that Steve Macklin actually goes up and into the main event scene. But yeah, I think like it'd be a decent match. They had a decent match at Victory Road. But yeah, no, I can't see Frankie Kazarian losing the title here. After that, we have one final table, the Hardys versus the Dudleys, or the Hardy Brothers versus Team 3D. And yeah, for me, I have a lot of complaints about this as it is. Everyone is so hyped up about this match, even though it's going to be crap. It's going to be the worst match on the card by a country mile, and I know it is. Putting the NXT titles on the Hardys was a huge mistake. This match doesn't need the World Tag Team Championships, and I feel like they could have made a better match for Dark State going into Bound for Glory. I know it's this weekend, but they could have just done an open challenge or something, and it would have been fine. But instead, they decided to put the tag titles on the Hardys. Plus, the Hardys as NXT tag champions just sounds really bloody dumb. Like, they're the tag team champions of the developmental brand. Well, that just makes sense, considering they're both 50 plus. But I won't get into all that, that's probably for another time. But my prediction for this match, well, I think the Hardys are going to win, because I swear Devon can barely move as it is. That's a bit harsh. They're not going to put the tag titles on the Dudleys, because Devon is like, I feel like most of the people going into this and be like, oh, but we don't know what Devon can do. Like, Bully is going to carry that match for the Dudleys, in my opinion. As far as Matt and Jeff go, they've been crap all year. As far as wrestling quality goes, I get the point of the star power in the name and whatever, putting the titles on them, it's fine. They shouldn't be tag team champions as it is, but it's, you know, it's what it is. But yeah, for me, as far as predictions go, I think the Hardys are going to get the win here. I can't see them putting the tag titles on Team 3D. But yeah, it's a match I'm really not looking forward to. I get the whole moment behind it, but man, this is going to be a pretty shoddy match, I think. And I think everyone's hyped way too much about it. And I think it's just going to be four old men loitering around the ring, putting each other through tables. And I don't have a lot of hopes for this match. I don't really want this match to happen. Obviously, it's going to happen. I'm not saying that they might not do it, but yeah, let's say my prediction is the Hardys, but yeah, I really couldn't give less of a shit about this match. Following that, we have Hardcore War, which is Order 4, which is Mustafa Ali, The Good Hands, Tasha Steelz, and Agent Zero, taking on The System, which is Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, and JDC, or Dirty Dango, or Fandango, depending on where you know him from. But for me, I'm going to go with Order 4 to get the win here. I can't remember. I believe Order 4 have the advantage here, but for me, it's a case of who needs a win over who doesn't. And for me, Order 4 need to not only establish themselves as a force within TNA, which I feel like they've done a pretty good job of so far, but if they're going to build Mustafa Ali to a world title picture, world title reign, but he's going to have to get a win here. He'll probably have to pin Moose. I know he's already pinned Moose, but get a win over Moose on a big pay-per-view like Bound for Glory would be the way to do it. Plus, Moose can kind of take a loss and still be in the exact same position he's been in over the last couple of years, so it's not a massive issue. And it's the same with the whole group, really. They're kind of just stuck in one position on the card where they're used all the time, and nothing is really an issue for them. Wins and losses don't really mean anything because they're going to be in that position no matter what. Whereas Mustafa Ali and and the whole of Order 4 have the potential of moving up the card a bit. I think only Tasha Steelz maybe should be used a lot more in the women's division, but other than that, I have no complaints over where everyone is within Order 4, but Mustafa Ali should be in the main event scene. He's been putting on absolutely banger matches recently on TNA. Well, the only other thing that makes me feel like they might get a win here is Mustafa took a big loss last night on NXT Showdown. They might respond to that with a big win over the system at Hardcore War. So, yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Order 4, but that's because they need the win more than the system do. Following that, we have Javon Evans challenging Leon Slater for the X Division Championship, and this is going to be match of the night, I promise you. I don't feel like we're going to get a better match than this one. It is going to cook. These two are going to kill it. I cannot wait for this. Since it was announced at Victory Road, I'm buzzing for it. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. As far as winners go, I think Leon Slater is going to retain here. I can't see them putting another TNA tag team, another TNA title on a NXT superstar. So yeah, as much as this is going to be a big loss for Javon and he keeps losing these big title matches, I can't see him getting the win here, unfortunately. All I know is, yeah, this match is going to absolutely cook. It's going to be so good. I can't wait for it to go down. It's the match I'm looking forward to the absolute most. But yeah, I've got Leon Slater to get the win here. Following that, we have the Knockouts World Championship match where Indy Hartwell is challenging Kalani Jordan. And this is going to put the TNA Knockouts Championship back on the path of which it should have been on from the beginning. Indy Hartwell is winning this match. I am 96% confident that Indy Hartwell wins here. I feel like the original plan was to put the title on Indy Hartwell going into this event, that Ash by Elegance was going to lose the title to Indy Hartwell, and then we kind of go from there. And I feel like, yeah, I said this match is going to put the Knockouts division back on track to what they originally wanted to do. Though I feel like it's going to be a very good match. I feel like Indy Hartwell was considerably underrated in NXT. And she was a lot better than she was given credit for. Kalani Jordan is an absolute talent in the ring. Absolutely loving Kalani Jordan. I feel like she is going to be one of the best women's wrestlers in the world at some point. And so, yeah, I feel like these two are going to have an absolutely fantastic match, but there is nothing doubting me at all that Indy Hartwell is going to get the win here and become the new Knockouts World Champion. And finally, in the main event, or at least I assume it'll be the main event, it has to be surely, is arguably one of the most important TNA matches of the year, where we have Trick Williams defending the TNA World Championship against Mike Santana. And I have been saying this since I started to cover TNA on the channel again this year. I know I've had some hit and miss times with TNA on the channel, but I've been pretty consistent this year, I'd say. And I have said since I started that Mike Santana will be a world champion in 2025, and it happens here. He is the saviour of TNA. He takes our title from Trick Williams. I promise you, this is where we're going to... If Trick Williams walks out of the event as TNA champion, I will be shocked. Because then it's a case of, well, if not Mike Santana, then who? And they haven't built anyone up to the point that they have Mike Santana to be the person to beat Trick Williams. Just like Indy Hartwell, I could not be more confident that Mike Santana gets a win here. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. I feel like Mike Santana is going to make an absolutely fantastic TNA World Champion. The build for him has been perfectly done, I would say. I would arguably say this has been one of the best build-ups to a World Championship probably since Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes did it almost immaculately. Mike Santana has done it next to perfectly, if that makes sense. I feel like immaculate is better than perfect, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, for me, 110% Mike Santana gets the win here. So there's my predictions for TNA Bound For Glory 2025. Do put down in the comments below what your predictions are for the event, or anything else about the event. Do you think any more matches are going to be added? If so, what do you think is going to get added? I feel like maybe a couple of matches, but nothing's really coming to mind over what they might be. And let me know who you've got for the Cully Shot Gauntlet. I'm very curious to see why and who people have got. But yeah, yes, thank you very much for watching. Do stick around, as tomorrow there will be my Crown Jewel predictions for this weekend, as well as coverage of or reviews of Bound For Glory and Crown Jewel will be on Monday and Tuesday, as well as other stuff as well on the channel. Right now on the channel there is my thoughts on the counter programming from WWE to AEW, and as well as my top 20 favourite tag team matches of all time. Do go watch those. There will be links at the end of the video to those ones. But yeah, thank you very much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one.